Hi everyone. Today we are again here with the new problem of DSA, that is odd even linked list. Today we are going for linked list, and the first code is of Leet code, odd even linked list. So in this code, what is given? Let's read. Given the head of a singly linked list, group all the nodes with the odd indices together, followed by the nodes with even indices, and return the reorder list. Okay. So what we have to do in this code, let us understand this. Suppose we have given this linked list, and in this what we have to do, this all the elements occurring on odd position, we have to put all those elements to first, and all the elements of even indices we have to put them in last. And by converting these elements, we don't have to change the sequence of these numbers. So first let us understood that how we will going to do it, that what will be our approach to solve this problem. So let's come over here. Suppose we have given with this linked list, and the here the zeroth index is our first index. We took it as first. So the first position is odd and the second position is even. So we know that after every odd position there is even, and after every even position there is odd. So how we are going to do this? So let's first write the answer. The answer would be like, or the output of this given linked list will be like this: 1, 3, 5, and there is no odd position number. Now come with even, so it will be 2, 4, and 6. This is our output. So how we're going to do this? And so let us discuss about the approach first. So what we will do, we will take 2 pointers. Like, so the first element is of odd position, so we will assign it with O, and just after this element we will assign with even, and we took this also EE. This is also point to this, the first even number. Now why we will pointing even number with these two variables, this will we will understand later on. So now how we will do the swap, or how we will change. So in linked list, first let us understand, we can suppose if we want to make any change, then we can only alter these signals, like this one. So this one is pointing to this 2, and this 2 is pointing to this 3, and this 3 is pointing to 4 in a linear order, and so it goes on. Now what we will do, we don't make any change, we just alter these arrows. Now how we're going to do this, let us understand. Suppose this is our first odd number, so we know that the next odd number will be at the next side of this even. So what we will do, we will just connect this odd position first element with the next of this even. So it will be something like this: odd equals to, means the next of this odd will be equal to next of this even. And similarly, after this we will assign this odd as even dot next. Okay, now we do similar things with even. Now we know that our odd, this odd came to this 3. Now for even we will do the even of next means the next of this even will point to the next of this odd. So after pointing, what we will do? We will point this even, we will place this, or we can say we will place this even to the next of this odd. So now the even will come to here. But try to understand this, we will not put do anything with this second variable. Now why we will need not do this, we will understand later on. So as we did in previous step, we keep it continue. So again, this odd will point to this 5 and odd will shift to this place and even will goes to 6. Okay, now we know that the next of this even is none, since after the end of this linked list it is always point to the last element of this linked list, always point to null, or we can say none in Python. We will write null. So the loop will continue until null. Since the next of this, now this even transfers to this, so we know that the next of this even is null. So loops ends up here. Now we know that linked list works on connections, means this one is point. Now we know that this one is pointing to 3, this 3 is pointing to 5, and this 2 is pointing to 4, and this 4 is pointing to 6. Suppose if now at this position, if we pass the head for printing, then it will print 1, 3, 5. Now what about even numbers? Because even numbers now points to 2, 4, 6, but it will not, these numbers will not print. So for that, what we supposed to do, the last of this odd number will point to first element of this even. So now we can see that, that's why I have put over here the EE at this position only. So what we will do at last, the last odd position, when we reach up to the null position, what we will do in last, the next of this odd will point to this EE. So now what will happen that when we pass the head for printing, it will traverse like this. First it will goes to 1, then 3, then 5. Now this 5 is pointed to this E, and this E is the first element of the even number position number. So this 5 will point to this first even position number, so it will print 2, then 2 is pointing to 4, so it will print 4, and 4 is pointing to 6. So like this way we will get the desired output. Again, I'm saying that in linked list, what it actually does, that it is pointing. Every node is pointing to its next element. So we can't make changes to this, but we can just break the connection from here and let it point to this, or this can point to this. So like this way we can cut these two elements. So similar things we have done over here. Now came up with coding part. So firstly we are going to do it in Python 3, and then we will check the solution for C++. So let's start. Okay, no need to do this. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. Okay. We are back. So the first condition there is that if the linked list has no element, so means that if linked list has, we will check if head equals to none in Python, then then we will simply return none. Return none. Otherwise, we will game over. Now we will assign two variables that we have discussed over here. For odd o equals to head. Now we will even, for even we will take e equals to head dot next, means just the next element of this odd is even. So e equals to head dot next, and e equals to even. So e we will just for pointing the first even position number after traversing all the odd elements. So e equals to even. We will not traverse this even, so it is just for pointing the first even position number. So now we will start a loop for traversing while true, and we will break the loop as per our given condition. So first of all, we will have to put the first breaking condition. So it will be like this: if suppose odd equals to none, or even equals to none, or suppose even dot next becomes null, e dot next equals to none, then at this situation what we will do, means we are at the last of our linked list. So we know that when we are at the last of our linked list, we have to point the last odd position number to the first even position number. So o dot next equals to e, and since now we just have to all the elements got traversed, and here we can break the loop. Suppose if that does not happen, then we just have to change the directions. So o dot next equals to e dot next, means the next of odd equals to next of even. Now the odd will goes to next of even. So o equals to, after pointing this, means after this one point to this 3, the o will goes to here up at 3. So similarly we are going to do o equals to e dot next. Now again we will check the breaking condition, means if o dot next, means if the next of this odd becomes none, this is the last element, then at this point also e dot next equals to none, because we have to put the AND condition also. So this means that if the odd, suppose this here we have given that this 5 is the last element. So after this 5, 4 is there. So this 4 means this 4 have to point the none. So this I have done e dot next equals to, so e dot next will point to none. So this is the end. So now the same condition pointing to first even position element. So o dot next equals to e, then we will break the loop. Otherwise now we have to go for even. So e dot next equals to O dot next, and E equals to O dot next. We have already discussed over here that why we are doing this. So we have cover up the breaking conditions and also the direction changing condition. And finally, what we will do, we will return head. So I hope everything is good. Okay, sorry, we have it have to be E as I have written even while speaking. So let's check. Okay, it is running fine. Let's submit it. Okay, so we can see that it works fine. So you all can see the full code. It is something like this. The same approach that we have discussed, we just had followed that only. And these are the breaking condition. That suppose if the next of suppose at 5 there is no element, so we will cover up this. And suppose even at the last even position number at the last element, so we will cover that over here. And for odd we have cover up over here. For both the things we have. Now look at the C++ solution also. So this is the C++. It is we have followed the same approach, exactly same approach and same variable, just we have changed the language. So for same odd, we have declared odd of list node type because these are the pointers, or we can say object of the object of type list node. So list node O pointing to head, similar points to this one, head, because head is points to this one and O also point to this one. And even point to head dot next means even is pointing to this two, and EE points to E means EE point to this of two. Same while true, loop will continue up to condition gets true. This is the breaking condition. And the same O dot next means suppose if we reach up to the end of this loop, the last odd position number will point to the first even position number, means this 2. Same we have done over here, and these are the direction changing condition for odd, and these are the direction changing condition for even. That, and this is the break condition. So it is all same that we have discussed in Python. So let's run this also and submit it. So it's worked completely fine. So finally, we have done with this code. Thanks for viewing. We will come very soon with the next problem of DSA. So all these problems are very important. These questions generally asked in interviews of Amazon, Google, Walmart, and so on. Thank you for viewing.